what's going on everyone? My name is Donovan and today I'm excited to share with you my 20-day review of the Amazfit GTR. So 20 days ago I did an unboxing and walkthrough of the software of this device, and now 20 days later I want to go ahead and share with you my perspective, and specifically I want to talk about what it's like to use this watch as an endurance athlete. Specifically, in my case, I am a runner, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about it from a runner's perspective, and just let you know what I like, what I dislike about the watch, and we'll go from there. So first of all, let's talk about the price point. So it's available in a couple different configurations. The version you see right here, the version I have, is the aluminum alloy version and 47 millimeter in diameter. Now there is a smaller version available that's available in a lot more colors. So you can see this one's the 42 millimeter version. Now just a quick note here, with the 42 millimeter version you are going to get about half the battery life, which is still really good. 12 days of battery life. Here they claim 24 days of battery life, and we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Like I said, I've been using it for 20 days. And then if we come down here, the 42 millimeter is a little bit cheaper also, so it's $129.99. But we also have red, and then black, and then also white. So the 42 millimeter is available in 4 different colors, whereas the version I have, which is the 47 millimeter, is basically just available in this one color. So it's brown, but then you can get aluminum alloy casing or you can get stainless steel casing. Basically the only difference here, if I click on the stainless steel version, we'll go ahead and get out of that, is you can see that the bezel here is a more silver color, and it is of course stainless steel, whereas the version I have is aluminum alloy, and you can see that it's definitely a darker gray right here. So this is aluminum alloy. We got kind of a plastic resin back here. There's a heart rate sensor. And then over here we have our quick release bands. Now they say that these are leather, and I believe them because you can kind of see it starting to crack just a little bit. I have been wearing it in the water, but if you want to swap these out for something that are maybe a little bit more athletic suitable, then you can go ahead and swap them out, because it just uses standard quick release bands, so real easy to swap them out. So now let's go ahead, now that we've talked about the price, and by the way I'll leave the link down in the description if you're interested in checking it out. Let's talk about the battery life, because obviously that's one thing about this watch that really kind of sets it apart from a lot of other GPS smartwatches like this one or similar type of smartwatches. Other than the price, the battery life is the other thing that's really compelling about this watch. So they claim 24 days of battery life on the 47 millimeter version, 12 days on the 42 millimeter version, and I charged this up 20 days ago, and you can see I'm still at 17%. I have been using it. I've been using the GPS on the watch. I've been using the heart rate, of course. I've been using it for notifications. So basically every feature I've been using, and you can see that after 20 days I'm still at 17%. So to give you kind of an idea, if I use, let's say I go out for a 4-mile run, takes me a little bit under half an hour, I'm only using 1% of battery, maybe 2% in a 30-minute run. So that's using GPS the entire time. Of course, the heart rate sensor is going all the time with that, and yeah, so battery life is as advertised. There's no question about it. The 24 hours or 24 days of battery life is very realistic, which is pretty impressive considering this is an AMOLED display. All right, so now let's go ahead and talk about some of the other features here. So of course we got GPS plus GLONASS, and we'll talk more about that because I'm going to talk about the accuracy of the GPS here in just a little bit. We have that AMOLED display, and as you can see with that AMOLED display, we do not have an always-on display. So that's definitely for me. As a runner, I've gotten used to watches like, well, let's bring it over here. Something like this, like my Garmin Forerunner, which apparently is currently dead, or my Garmin Fenix 5 Plus, which of course is also dead, as I'm showing you, because I've been using this for the last 20 days. But both those watches have always-on trans-reflective displays, which I definitely think is preferable as a runner. That's just my preference, because you always have that display on, and you don't have to like flip your wrist to turn it on or touch the screen or hit a button. So AMOLED display, even though it looks nicer, I think, on a watch, I prefer as a runner trans-reflective display, because it's also very visible in daylight. We also have continuous heart rate. We do have water resistant up to 5 atmospheres or 50 meters, so that's really great. So you can use it to track your swimming as well. Very long lasting battery, I already talked about that. The 24 days is very realistic. We can get smartphone notifications, and then we have some multi-sport modes. So of course you can track your cycling, your swimming, your biking, whatever you want to track there. And then it does also track some gym workouts as well, which we'll take a look at in just a little bit. All right, so now let's talk about the accuracy of the GPS, because obviously that's going to be important if we're using this as a runner. So I want to go ahead and bring you over to Strava. So I did a run a little bit earlier this morning, and I went down simply a railroad track, basically. By the way, if you want to follow me on Strava, I'll leave a link down below as well, or you can just simply look up my name, Donovan Hornbeck. There it is. But here is the run I went on this morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at these GPS tracks. So what you'll notice here is this is just a simple out and back run, so starting from my house, and you can see that I ran on the left side of the road and then on the left side of the road on the way back, but this is a straight sidewalk path. So if I zoom in here, you'll see that path. So there is the path, the Fred Meyer Clinton Ionia Shiawassee Trail. Notice that my tracks here are not on there very well. So as far as the GPS accuracy goes, I will say that I've definitely run into some slight issues when it comes to the GPS tracking. And if I go into the actual app that it uses over here, so this is the app it uses to track your workouts. So if I go into, let's go see more exercise, because I also did a cycling workout a little bit earlier as well. So you can see that obviously this isn't any different. So this is the actual app itself. You can see that again, it's off of the trail there. So that's the actual trail. This is where it says I went in the orange. But again, it's a little bit off. So what I've found with this is, and that was my exact track. I mean, that is exactly what I did. It's definitely off a little bit. But what I found in general is that if I'm using this with another watch just to kind of test it out, I found that for every mile that I'm running, this is only recording about 0.98. So basically you have to run 1.02 miles or 2/100ths extra each mile in order to get this to say 1 mile mark. So the way I know that is because, for instance, let's go back to the track I was on. This railroad bed, old railroad bed, actually has every mile marker marked out, and basically every time I'd pass a mile marker it'd be at 0.98. And I also tested it against some other watches, and generally what that meant is that about for every mile is about 7 seconds off. So if I was running a 7:30 mile, this was saying I was running a 7:37 mile, or if I was running a 7 flat mile, it was saying 7:07. And that's again because the GPS is just a little bit off. I have had it updated, so if you've had better luck with it, let me know down in the comment section below, because obviously I have not had as much luck. Next thing I want to talk about is, so we talked about the GPS accuracy, let's talk about the heart rate accuracy. So the heart rate accuracy I found to be about the same. So over here we're about 2/100ths of a mile off for each mile, which can add up over the course of a really long run. And with the heart rate sensor, I found that on an average run, it's about 5 beats to 10 beats higher than my actual heart rate. And I'm comparing it to other watches, like my Garmin watches, like my Coros Vertex, and even some cheaper heart rate fitness bands like that one there. And generally, it's about 5 to 10 beats higher than what my actual heart rate is. So for instance, I went on that super easy run this morning. So for an easy run, you know, your heart rate should be only around probably 150, 160. And you can see that it said my average heart rate is at 168. Now, when I'm running at that pace, my heart rate definitely is not 168, and it's about 160 is what I would guess at that pace, or even a little bit lower than that. So like I said, it's about 5 to 10 beats off per minute faster than what I'm actually getting on my heart. Now, obviously, I'm just comparing it to other watches, but I kind of know that at that pace, that I'm not hitting 168 in terms of the heart rate. So heart rate monitor, it's decent, but again, it's a little bit off, and so that would be another slight complaint about the watch. And then the third thing I want to mention is, let's say I want to do a workout. So I can configure it so that this button automatically goes to a workout. What would be awesome is if you actually had the ability with this button to also use it for a splitter, but you can't split using this button. It kind of becomes useless once you're actually in the app. So that is another thing I think that they could fix with software updates, which I really think they should, because right now this button is pretty much useless once you're actually working out. So it does take a little bit to get GPS. Now right now I'm actually indoors, so it's not going to get outdoor GPS. But let's go ahead and hit go. And I wanted to just show you what you get. So you get the time, you get the distance, you get pace. Again, the pace is definitely not accurate. This is like a instantaneous pace. So if I'm running 7-minute pace, it might say 8 minutes or 6 minutes. So it's, in general, it's close, but it's definitely not exactly right. And you can see, of course, the heart rate monitor is now turning on. And then I can scroll through the different, now average pace, that one's obviously a little bit more accurate. Total ascending, descent, I found that the barometric altimeter in terms of descent and ascent has been good, so it's measuring my elevation well, and then a few other metrics there. But the thing I don't love about this is the fact that you can't really change what metrics it shows you. So there's nowhere within the Amazfit app that you use with it that you can change these metrics. It's just kind of, these are the ones you get. So these are 3 that I would always want, like heart rate, distance, and time. I do like having the pace there if it were more accurate. It tends to be off. Like I said, if I'm running a 7-minute pace, it might be showing anywhere from like 6 to 8-minute pace. So the instantaneous pace is never super accurate. So if you want the more accurate one, you want to go to average pace, which is on the next screen. And again, you can't move that one up to the front screen as far as I can tell. So that would be another slight negative. Now, I've said a lot of negative things about this watch. Obviously, one of the positives is that battery life. It's crazy good. I really love the look of this watch. In fact, it's one of my favorite looking watches that I've had that's a GPS smartwatch for runners. Another thing, let me just mention this because I'm talking about it now. When you want to stop a run, you can't just like hit this button. So notice that that is kind of like the up and down scroll while we're going through this. So this is down, and this one is up. So that's what it does while you're in a workout. So if you want to stop a workout, you have to actually hold this one down. And you can see that that's going to take a little while. So if you're trying to like get a perfectly accurate stopping time, you're not going to get it with this because you have to hold it down in order to stop the workout. So just another little, maybe just slight complaint. So now that I've said all these like somewhat negative things, other than the battery life and the look of the watch, let me just mention that for $150, this is really a really fantastic beginner's smartwatch if you're a runner. So if you're a beginning runner or maybe a beginning cyclist and you want to just track your workouts, I really do think that this is a fantastic watch. It obviously has some shortcomings when it comes to being a fitness tracker, and we've kind of already talked about all those things, but as far as a beginning fitness advocate might go, or a beginning fitness person, I really think that this is a solid watch. It does have some shortcomings, obviously, but I do really like it overall. So anyways, a quick look at the Amazfit GTR. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If there's anything that you disagree with maybe from your personal use, just let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you're thinking about picking it up, it would help if you check out the links that I'm going to provide, because I do get a little kickback from GearBest, a small one, for that purchase, and they do have really good shipping as far as this Amazfit GTR goes. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If there's anything that I've missed, any other questions you might have about the watch, let me know. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.